Hi, I'm Mary Tillman.
And I'm Dan Tillman.
And I'm Chad Blank, and we're with Team Tillman from Coldwell Banker Realty.
And today's Tuesday Tips with Team Tillman is about home inspections.
We sit with Tim Gerdes with Inspectall to answer some common home inspection questions.
Hi, this is Tim Gerdes from Inspectall LLC, a full-service home inspection company. We've been in business for nearly 15 years. I'm certified as a licensed radon professional. I'm also certified by InterNACHI as for inspections. So is our other inspector. And we also do pool inspections. We work with a sewer camera inspection company. So we can cover almost all your needs.
Hey Tim, I have some clients that are really handy. They can fix just about anything. They've done remodeling. And they always ask me, do I really need an inspector?
Mary, when you have clients, they're handy. Yes, they probably don't want to have an inspection, but they will probably not find even a quarter of what we find. We're trained professionals. We go through more than 400 different art pieces in an inspection. It's very exhaustive. And so we go in places they probably would never even think of going, like in the attic. So you're going to find a detailed report, which they probably would not do. And we will find things that they may not think that are actual problems. They may not be big problems, but they're enough to have a concern and have to deal with.
Hey Tim, what can our clients expect when they show up to go through the inspection report with you?
Chad, when your client shows up for the inspection, we will greet them, introduce ourselves. We generally will move inside the house to the kitchen, and at the kitchen we will show them their report on our computer. Now, during this COVID time, it's a little bit different. We're spending a little less time with the client because of the COVID protocols. We do wear masks and gloves to try to protect the client and the seller and us. So generally what we will do, we will share with them, here's a report similar to this one, and on a computer, it moves much faster in the computer. We have a table of contents. We're able to explain the major things that they would see in the house. Now sometimes no major things, so we explain that. So we explain in terms that are charge neutral. So we explain how things work and how to work with them. So that is our main focus.
Hey Tim, what's radon and why is everybody so concerned about it? And if I have it, what do I got to do about it?
Hello Dan. Well, radon is a colorless, odorless, radioactive gas which can break down inside your lungs and actually affect your lungs and affect the DNA in your lungs, which can eventually cause cancer. So there is a concern for it. In Minnesota, 40% of all homes tested have a higher level than recommended by the EPA of radon. So definitely a concern. Testing is the only way to determine that. The way it gets in is through cracks in the floor, generally in a basement or in through a crawl space, through concrete walls because they are actually porous. And penetrations in concrete walls also, like when pipes go through, it's another place where radon can come through. So what do you do about it? Well, remediation is pretty easy. They basically cut a hole in the floor and they put a pipe in, seal it to the floor. They put a pipe all the way out above the roof and they exhaust gases with a low pressure fan. And that will bring down the concentration of radon in your house to an acceptable level.
Hey Tim, I have a buyer who's buying this cute split entry house with the brick maybe a third of the way up. But hey, if you look at this, it is all kind of to peel off in chunks like this. What would cause this to happen to this brick? And is this a serious problem?
Well, Mary, brick is a clay product. It's made out of clays from different parts of the United States. The different bricks have different resistances to water depending on the mix of the clay. The clay is baked at a high temperature to form the brick. So what affects the brick is moisture absorption. So moisture on the brick over time will cause the brick to split off or spall. Now this It can happen over a long period of time or a short period of time, depending again upon the mix of the clay. It is generally a long time, but some don't last as long.
Hey Tim, I have cracks in my basement floor. How do I know if they're serious or not?
Okay, Chad, cracks in your concrete floor. Many of the cracks in concrete floor are not a problem. Cracks such as these are considered typical settling cracks in a concrete basement floor, and they should not be of any real concern to you. Concrete that has been less than two months poured should not have cracks, but after that it can have cracks at any time. Now, cracks that are serious will have a separation in height, and they'd be greater than a 1/4 inch wide. So that's the criteria for looking at cracks and determining whether they're a problem in a basement.
Hey Tim, my question is, what is so important up in the attic, and what is it that you find that is in such dire need?
Dan, attics are somewhat misunderstood spaces. Most of the general public doesn't really understand what their function is. So what we really want to have in the attic is air movement, so ventilation, to move moist air out of the house, because it will accumulate in the attic no matter what. So we look at various different things there. We look at the insulation, the type, the depth. We look at the structural parts, which either trusses or rafters, to make sure that they're in good shape, not cracked, not damaged in some way. We look at the ventilation from the bathrooms and kitchens, and to see if it's continuous out through the roof. And we look to see the sheathing to see if it's in good condition. If too much moisture is in the attic, it will show darkness or even sometimes white on the sheathing. So the whole health of the house kind of is summed up in the attic.
Rolling.
Thanks for watching Tuesday Tips with Team Tillman.
We hope we got all of your questions answered.
And if we didn't answer your question, or would like to set up a meeting with any one of us, as always, it's a no pressure situation. Feel free to reach out to us either through the messenger button below. You can find us on Facebook at Team Tillman MN, or you can go online at teamtillmanmn.com. There you'll be able to find a quick bio of all of us. There's a form there you can fill out to reach out to us, as well as find our emails and phone numbers.
Look for us next week for another Tuesday Tips with Team Tillman.